Hey guys, it's your girl Sylvie, and it is another Friday. It's another Friday where I bring you awesome scholarship grantees to share with you the journey on how they were able to get their scholarship. So you know the drill. Pick up a pen, pick up a paper, jot down their ideas on how they were able to get their scholarships, get inspired, and you go get yourself your own scholarship. So welcome, Mish.
Thank you.
Please introduce yourself.
Hi guys, I'm Mishma Sylvie Stanislaus from India and currently enrolled as a doctoral student at the University of Tsukuba, and I major in bioenergy. And to start off, I came here as a master's student, so I've been here for quite some time.
Yes, she's been here for quite some time compared to us. Yeah.
So
So I would like to know, like, take us through your scholarship journey. I know your story is really different from all the regular students who actually have their own scholarships back home before coming here. Take us through just tell us your story. Before we go through all of this, let me try to explain to you. Her story is really very different, and I think it's very important for you all to actually follow it up and listen how she was able to go through her financing throughout school. So make sure you pay attention.
the first thing is when I came here as a master's student, I didn't have any scholarships, so I was privately financed student. And why I did that is because the entire application process takes really long for a scholarship, and I don't want to waste a year for that. So I just got accepted. So I just grabbed my bags and I came here, and I was like, oh, we'll see whatever happens. So the first 6 months I didn't have like any scholarship, but I could get a few tuition waivers and my admission fee waiver. So I survived with that. And then after that I got 6 months of JASO, which is a government scholarship, but it's really less, like around 65,000 yen. So it hardly helps you like survive. But again, you have to pay your fees and stuff. So it was difficult, but still better than no scholarship. And then I reapplied and I got another year of JASO. So basically 2 years of masters, I had like my scholarship for 1.5 years. But again, I was just 65,000. But there was other things which helped me like survive, like TA. My sensei was like really supportive, so she gave me like TA and stuff. And also I did a couple of part-time jobs, and then there was tuition waiver and things like that, so I survived.
So when they give you like a tuition waiver, does it take away, like, let me say 50%, 80%? How much do you get as tuition waivers?
It depends on the number of people applying, and also from where the students are coming. Like they divide the number of grantees as per like regional blocks, I would say. So because I'm from India and not many students are from India, I think I was more likely to get a waiver. And it was not always a waiver. Sometimes I never got a waiver. Sometimes it was half, and sometimes it was 1/3. So yeah, it depends on the funding also.
And with like part-time jobs and TA, were you able to do that and get like enough finances for your studies?
No, that was just for living expense and stuff. Is like not really good enough, and that's one of the reason I stayed in the dormitory for quite some time, as you would know.
Because so staying in the dormitory, because staying in the dormitory is like cheaper.
Yeah, definitely works out cheaper.
Yeah. So you did part-time jobs, you did TA, and with that it was just for living expenses.
Yes,
so
definitely.
tuition you had to privately finance.
Yeah,
that.
to privately finance, definitely.
So when you now got the JASO scholarship, did it help you when you get the JASO scholarship? Does the university still waive your fee, or that they don't waive again?
No, that they waive, because JASO is like just 65,000 yen. So they consider that as like almost nothing, so they do waive. But again, like I said, sometimes the university, the funding drops, sometimes they have really good funding, so it depends on that too. So it's just your credentials and country from where you are, like the lesser the people, it's more probable that you will get a scholarship.
What about your grades? Does your grade count in any of these scholarships that you get?
Yes, definitely.
So if you come as a privately financed student and you're hoping to actually probably get a scholarship, you really need to work on your grades.
Work on your grades, the Japanese language, and as well as get like extracurricular activities, attend conferences, try to get like prizes and stuff, because they really speak for you. I think, and I think that's what got my scholarship in the future. Yeah.
So now when you eventually, now what scholarship are you on?
So yeah, as I struggled through my 2 years of masters with scholarship up and down, And then for my PhD, I applied for the university recommended scholarship, which is a category of scholarship. So the process is like you send in applications to the university, and if the university deems you fit for any of the scholarship, they send your application to those particular foundations or organizations and things like that. And if they think that you're okay and you're eligible, they will contact you, and then you go through another entire process of interview and application and things like that. So I applied to the university, and then they selected me for this Watanuki Zaidan Fellowship, which I'm sure not many have heard of, because it's really, it's quite, it's not so famous, but they pay good, and
that's what's important.
That's what's important, and after they selected me, and then my application was sent to the foundation, and then they asked me for another set of documents. And then after that, I had an interview, and then I got through the scholarship. The interview was in Japanese, so not easy.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. And what does it take for the university to accept your recommendation? Because I believe you are not the only one who actually applied for the university to recommend you. So do you know like the criteria that they use to choose students for that?
Yes. First of all, I think for university recommended scholarship, your professor's recommendation letter is very important.
Okay.
Because more than your grades, your credentials, it's like the person who's working with you throughout. If she says that you're good, they're ready to accept, and it's one of their own. So it's more easy for them to accept you as an eligible candidate.
Okay.
So I think your recommendation letter speaks of you a lot. So have very good terms, be in very good terms with your professor at all point in time.
Yeah.
And the second thing in my case, I think, was the credits. I had my credits and good grades, and also I did a lot of extracurricular activities, and at the same time I kept my grades, so that's kind of a good thing. And apart from that, I've attended a lot of conferences and things like that. So
with that, the university can recommend you. And about the scholarship, the foundation that actually granted you your scholarship, do you know the criteria they use to choose you?
For them, I think it is just the two criteria. First, again, credentials and your grades, and the university recommends you, so they think that definitely you're a better person than other candidates. So that's like gives you an upper hand in the first place. And also I think the Japanese language, because when you speak in your language, it's like you're telling them like, I'm trying to do my best to learn about this country, their culture, and things like that. So I think they really like that. And because the guy who interviewed me, that's what he said. He's like, this interview is like so much easier because you understand the language and I can talk to you like so fluently. But in some cases when they don't know and we have to first explain the question, it kind of like gives us a setback, like we're like, are we sure we want this candidate kind of thing. So I think that's really important. I mean, first of all, you're in a different country, so I think you have to learn the language, and you never know when it's helpful for you. So I thought that's something everybody should do.
Okay, so normally most times on this channel I've interviewed so many social sciences students, and you're not a social science student. So take us through, for example, writing research proposals at the level of sciences. What are the things that students need to watch out for when they write research proposals? Because I believe it is also important for you to write a good research proposal if you're supposed to be accepted for any scholarship.
Yes. So like you said, research proposal is very important, and you might have to write it in Japanese sometimes. So yes, I had to write mine. So the important thing is your research proposal should not only benefit your own country or your own self at the end of the day. It should be a research that benefits the entire society. So that's what gives them like confidence in you and your research, and they said, oh yes, we can fund this person because ultimately she's going to help the society. So first of all, your research, I think most of you do the research for the benefit of the society, but make sure you mention that as a major part in your research proposal when you're making one, because that really speaks a lot about your research. And it has to be interesting and give them key points. And I know we can't really give away ideas in a research proposal because it's something new, and you can't really tell others the idea. But that doesn't mean you're on the surface and you just give a brief, like a background, and then end your proposal. Try to dig in deeper, but not so deep that your idea is revealed completely. So I think, yeah.
So for the sciences, you don't state exactly everything about what you want to do.
Yeah, like we can't really give the results. It's like an hypothesis. We know like this is what we're stating, but we're not sure if it's going to work, kind of thing. But we already have the results and we know it's working. But we can't say that because, yeah, it's like once your results are given away, somebody might copy and things like that.
Really?
So yeah, it's kind of complicated.
Okay, so there are so many students out there who are actually like going through the process of trying to apply for scholarships. You as a student whose journey is really very different, and they are trying to actually study abroad, some of them are not even sure they are actually going to get these scholarships at the end of the day. What can you advise them, just as someone who has not had a very easy journey throughout financing, throughout education? What can you advise them generally?
Well, if you really want to study abroad and then you're not able to get a scholarship in time, I think you should just take a risk and try and just go to the place and try to work it out yourself. You probably, like any country, you're able to do a part-time, or then again you have your teachers, they would support you, and then you can like back home I had no clue of scholarships. When I came here, they were like, I found like so many scholarships, and it was more easy for me to come and apply here than from back home. So you might definitely benefit like going to the place and finding out things. And worst case, if you really can't go through, then you just come back and you try again. So just take the risk and go and try to get what you want.
Alright, thank you so much. So guys, I am actually going to do some sort of a summary of what Mishma said. I really can't put it together because her journey is really very different, but what I can say from everything she said is that you really don't always have to have a scholarship back home before you go to a country. If you look at the programs, if you look at the curriculums, and you're really interested in going to that country, you're really interested in doing that program, sometimes you can take a leap of faith. You can go privately financed. When you get there, it is not going to be the easiest journey ever, but you are actually going to survive. If you get your grades right, if you get everything that you're supposed to do in the institution right, you're in good terms with your professor, eventually you're going to be privately financed. Eventually you're going to get some foundations actually helping you throughout. So don't think that you always need to get a scholarship back home before coming to whatever country you are going to. Go there and then you are going to figure it out. Thank you so much for coming, Mish.
My pleasure.
Alright, so from Mish and I, bye bye. See you next time.